Whispers in the desert. The sun hung low over the Arizona desert, casting long shadows over the craggy hills of Phoenix. A group of urban explorers, Alex, Lara, Dylan, and Mia, stood at the edge of a forgotten ghost town, their gear strapped to their backs and excitement in their eyes. Ready to make history? Dylan grinned, pulling his camera from his bag. We're here to find ghosts, not fame, Mia shot back, always the skeptic of the group. But even she couldn't hide the spark of curiosity. The town, known as Black Hollow, had been abandoned for over a century. Once a booming mining settlement during the gold rush, the town had been ravaged by time and tragedy. Stories swirled about miners who vanished mysteriously, their spirits forever lingering in the shadows of the old mines. But for the group of explorers, these stories were just another layer of excitement. What better place to investigate than a town of lost souls? And if they found something valuable along the way, even better. They made their way through the desolate streets, the ghostly remnants of buildings around them whispering of forgotten lives. Everything was still, save for the occasional gust of wind that sent the dry dust swirling. The air was thick, heavy with the weight of the past. "It's up here?" Alex said, pointing toward a weathered building on the edge of town. Its crumbling stone facade bore the marks of time. Cracks, scorch marks, and an eerie sense of abandonment. Inside, the air smelled of old wood and mildew, and the floorboards creaked beneath their feet as they ventured deeper into the town's most notorious structure, the entrance to the mine. The mine shaft was hidden behind a rusted iron gate, half buried in sand and brush. The door groaned as they pushed it open, revealing a tunnel that stretched into the dark heart of the earth. Their flashlights flickered on, casting long beams into the murkiness ahead. "This is it," Lara whispered, her voice tinged with awe. The tunnel stretched deeper into the earth, and with each step, the walls seemed to close in. The explorers moved carefully, every footstep reverberating off the walls. They hadn't gone far when they noticed something strange, patches of glittering yellow peeking out from the walls, veins of gold glinting in the dim light. Mia knelt beside one, brushing away dirt to reveal a nugget of gold, its smooth surface gleaming as if untouched by time. "Looks like we hit the jackpot," Dylan said, his voice rising with excitement. He pulled out his pickaxe, eager to dig further. But as the group began to search the walls for more gold, a low rumble vibrated through the earth. The ground beneath their feet trembled, a deep, groaning sound echoing from somewhere far below. "What was that?" Lara asked, her voice tight with unease. "I don't know," Alex muttered, a chill creeping up his spine. "Let's get back to the entrance. This place feels wrong." But just as they turned to leave, the temperature dropped. Their breath misted in front of them, and an unnatural silence settled in. Then came the sound of chains dragging across the ground, faint but unmistakable. "Did you hear that?" Mia asked, eyes wide. Before anyone could respond, the air grew thick with a faint whispering. It was unintelligible at first, but the voices slowly grew louder. "Get out. Leave." The whispers spiraled into a cacophony of voices. Voices of miners long dead, their lives stolen by the darkness of the mine. The temperature plummeted further, and the group could feel cold hands brushing against their skin, invisible and insistent. Suddenly, a shadow flickered at the end of the tunnel. A figure, tall and gaunt, wearing a tattered miner's outfit. Its face was obscured by darkness, but its eyes glowed faintly, red and hungry. "Run!" Alex shouted, breaking the trance that had overtaken them. Panic set in as the explorers turned and sprinted back toward the entrance. The whispers morphed into screams, and behind them, they heard the sound of heavy boots pounding the earth. The shadowy figure lingered at the tunnel's edge, then flickered into view, its form shifting and warping like smoke. The group pushed harder, but the ground trembled beneath them, the air growing oppressive. They could feel the spirits of the miners closing in, clawing at their minds. As they reached the entrance, the gate slammed shut with a deafening clang. They were trapped. "Not again, not again," Dylan yelled, slamming his fist against the rusted bars. The mine seemed to pulse with life, and from within the voices grew frantic. The spirits of the lost miners were desperate to claim them. Alex, Lara, me and Dylan struggled, clawing at the gate, but it refused to budge. "Get out. Escape." The voices were now pleading. Suddenly, Mia, in a panic, grabbed a rusty lantern that hung on the wall and threw it against the gate. The glass shattered and the flames flickered into life. The gate groaned again, this time buckling slightly. The heat from the lantern seemed to repel the ghosts, and with one final push, they broke through. The group stumbled out into the open desert, gasping for breath, the cool night air rushing to meet them. They didn't stop running until they reached their truck, the headlights casting long shadows across the barren landscape. The desert stretched out before them, silent once more. We made it, Lara panted, looking back at the mine, her eyes wide with disbelief. Yeah, Dylan muttered, his voice hollow, but they'll never leave us. In the days that followed, the group tried to return to normal life, but something had changed. The weight of the ghosts still clung to them. Late at night, they would hear faint whispers in their ears, the sound of dragging chains, and the unmistakable eyes of the miners, always watching. Each of them would wake with a start, their skin cold with sweat, knowing the spirits of Black Hollow had followed them home. And no matter how far they ran, those spirits would never let them go. The gold they had found, glittering in the dark of the mine, remained untouched, lost to the desert once more. But the ghosts, they were with them always,